Have you ever noticed how one thought can change the direction of your entire day? A confident thought can push you to take action. A fearful thought can make you hesitate. And when the same kinds of thoughts are repeated day after day, they can begin to influence the person you become. That is the central idea behind What You Think Is What You Become by Anirvan Shah. Our inner world matters. The thoughts we repeatedly give our attention to can influence our beliefs, choices, habits, and ultimately the direction of our lives. What this book will help you achieve at its heart, this book encourages greater awareness of your own thinking. Instead of automatically accepting every negative thought that enters your mind, you can learn to notice it, question it, and choose a more constructive response. The goal isn't simply to think positive and expect problems to disappear. It's about developing a mindset that helps you respond to challenges with greater confidence, intention, and persistence. By becoming more conscious of your internal dialogue, you can begin replacing limiting beliefs with thoughts that support action and personal growth. Think of it this way: your thoughts influence your decisions. Your decisions become repeated actions. Repeated actions form habits, and over time, those habits help shape your life. Who this book is. For this book is especially relevant for people who feel held back by self-doubt, fear of failure, overthinking, or negative mental patterns. It may also appeal to anyone interested in personal development, confidence, motivation, and improving the way they approach everyday challenges. You don't have to be going through a major life crisis to benefit from these ideas. Sometimes the biggest changes begin with something much smaller, recognizing the thoughts you repeat to yourself every day. What's inside the book? The book explores the connection between thoughts, beliefs, behavior, and personal outcomes. One important theme is self-awareness. Before changing your thinking, you first need to recognize the patterns already operating in your mind. What do you tell yourself when something goes wrong? Do you immediately think, "I can't do this"? Do you assume failure before you've even tried? Or can you train yourself to see difficulty as something you can learn from? The book encourages readers to examine limiting beliefs and develop a more intentional mental approach. Another important lesson is that meaningful change requires repetition. A single encouraging thought isn't enough to transform years of negative thinking. New patterns become stronger when they're practiced consistently and supported by action. In other words, mindset isn't magic. It becomes powerful when it changes what you actually do. Why this book is different? What makes the book accessible is the simplicity of its central message. You don't need complicated theories to begin applying the basic principle. You can start by observing the language you use with yourself. Instead of saying, "I'll never be good at this," you might ask, "What can I learn that would make me better?" Instead of thinking, "I failed, so I should stop," you can think, "That didn't work. What should I change next time?" That small shift doesn't deny reality. It changes your relationship with reality. The emphasis is not merely on imagining a better life, but on cultivating thoughts that encourage better choices and consistent action. Book specifications. What You Think Is What You Become belongs broadly to the personal development and mindset space. Its focus is on the influence of thought patterns, beliefs, self-awareness, and intentional thinking on personal growth, rather than treating the ideas as something to read once and forget. The greatest value comes from reflecting on them and applying them to everyday situations. About the author, Anirvan Shah presents personal growth ideas around the relationship between thinking and becoming. The message behind the book can be captured in one simple question: what kind of person are your daily thoughts helping you become? Because while you cannot control everything that happens around you, you can become more aware of how you interpret those experiences and how you respond. And that may be the most useful takeaway from What You Think Is What You Become. Pay attention to your thoughts. Challenge the ones that unnecessarily limit you. Strengthen the ones that encourage learning, courage, discipline, and action. Because changing your life rarely happens through one dramatic decision. More often, it begins quietly, with a different thought, followed by a different choice, repeated one day at a time.